Hey everybody, I'm Sharon Sarah, and I want to thank you for joining our Booking Bootcamp. This is call number 2, and we're going to talk about booking at parties and at virtual parties. But before we do, let's review some information from the action steps from call number 1. So on the last call, the action steps were to write down your contacts, snap a photo of your sheets, and post them to our group. In making those contacts, post a picture of your contacts to the group and post a picture of you holding some mini catalogs, and also post on your own personal Facebook wall, I have mini catalogs, who would like one? You will be amazed at the responses you get, and you'll have a great opportunity to follow up and see if those people just want a catalog or if maybe they want a full-size catalog and book a party from it. And the fourth opportunity for training, fourth action step was to listen to Marna Ross's call called How to Fill Your Calendar and post your takeaway from that. So if you have any struggles, make sure you either post or comment, let us know what your struggles are, and we are here to support you with that. So tonight now, the topic is booking at parties. And there's 4 main reasons that people are going to book parties from you. If you're doing a cooking party, they're going to book because they had fun at that party and they liked you, the consultant. They're going to book because they love the products and you created the desire, and now they want more than they can afford or more than they want to pay full price for. The third reason is they want to help the host. And the fourth reason is somebody, you, asked them to book a party. So before I break each of these steps down a little bit further, let me start by saying you can't book parties unless your room is filled with people. So this call is not about host coaching, but host coaching is super important for you to have a room full of people so that you can book parties and recruit from those people. So talking about, they're going to book because they like you. So what makes people like you? You want to make sure you're approachable. You want to be friendly. You want to be outgoing. You want to be starting conversations, welcoming people to the party, asking them questions. Don't be the pampered chef lady that stands behind the table and waits to start her recipe when the host says, okay, let's get going. Actually greet people as they come in, start conversations and ask them things, and have a pocket full of your go-to questions. So your go-to questions might be maybe something about what they're wearing, jewelry, shirt, shoes, a purse. It might be, did you have far to come to the party tonight? Or maybe, did you know the host? And if they say they know the host because their kids go to school together, you might respond with, how old are your kids and what school are they in? So people love to talk about themselves. They love to talk about their kids. So those are always great conversation questions. What makes a party fun is when guests are involved. So think of ways that you can involve the guests. Can you let them read the recipe? Can you let them use the products? Can they do the stirring, the mixing, the chopping? Can they do a Q&A? Can they share their favorite tips? What kind of games can you play to involve the guests? What can you do to make that party fun? Can you share a lot of cooking tips? Can you teach them some skills? What is going to make that party really fun so that they're going to want to repeat that? And then what can you do to make them want more product than they can afford to buy tonight? Well, you can pick recipes that are going to feature those high-end products. Maybe it's the quick cooker, maybe it's cookware or stoneware, or the rocks. Make sure you choose your recipes carefully so that you're focused on these higher end products, because once people want them, if they can't afford to buy them outright, and some will, and that will just increase your sales. But if they can't afford to buy them outright, when you tell them about the hosting deal and our host rewards, that's when they're going to book parties to get them. So remember, make them want more than they can afford to buy. You don't have to focus on low-end items. They will find those all by themselves. After you've created that desire is when you're going to talk about the host program. And there's a couple different ways to do that. You can get a booking slide and you can flip it open and you can go through those item by item, or you can turn to the back cover of the catalog. The way I like to do my booking talk is with tickets, and I do tickets for many different things throughout the party. So it's actually my recruiting Q&A activity, and I use it for hosting as well. So to make sure they're paying attention, I again involve the guests and I keep them paying attention by saying, can everybody turn to the back cover of the catalog? I've got some tickets to give away for our drawing tonight. On the back cover of the catalog, I want you guys to look at the level, $1,000 party level. Who can be the first one to tell me what would the host get at the $1,000 level? And then, so everybody's going to look at that and somebody's going to yell out $215. That's great. You get a ticket. Now, at that same level, how many half price items do you get? Somebody's going to yell out, we get 5. Okay, great. Here's a ticket for you. And what's the host unlimited discount? And by now, everybody's paying attention. So they're going to yell out 30%. Okay, whoever said 30% gets a discount. Now, here's a tricky question, and it's not on the back of the book. About how many orders do you think it's going to take to have a $1,000 party? It used to be in the old catalog. I don't think it's in this one. So you're going to have to help them with this one. And they're going to start guessing. And when somebody says 15, say, that's right, whoever said 15, you get a ticket. 15 average orders gives you a $1,000 party. And now we don't always have 15 people at the party, but often people who can't come, who can't make it, are interested in placing outside orders. And those also add to sales. So with those, you will have a $1,000 party. So now you've got them enticed. And then I say, but you know what? There's more. This is the special you're going to get no matter when you do your party, but there's another bonus just for this month. And then you'll talk about the monthly host bonus. And make sure before you talk about that monthly host bonus, make sure you have talked about those products. So for example, if I'm using the quick cooker in a recipe, I might tell them all about it and then say, and I have got a special for you. So if this is more than you want to spend tonight on one item, stay tuned because I have a deal you won't believe. And then when I talk about the host bonus, you can get this for 50, actually it's always 50, right? 50, or sometimes based on the host bonus, it's a 60% off item. So whatever the host bonus is, if you're not using it, make sure you are bringing it and you are talking about it. If you don't have some of these high-end items, you can either borrow them from another consultant or your director, or you can do your own party so that you can get them yourself for half price or 60% off. Because these are going to be the tools that are going to make people want to book a party with you. You can also entice with theme parties. Now, a lot of times it's the same party you're doing, it's just the recipe that's different, but if you put a name to it, people are going to be interested. So it might be a wine, chocolate, and cheese party, or in the summertime, it's a barbecuing party, or a Mexican fiesta, or fajitas and margaritas, anything that makes it sound fun. If it's a group of moms, you might suggest a cooking with kids party. Personally, I'm not real fond of them, but if someone wants it, I'm going to tell them it's an amazing idea. If someone wants to do a freezer meal workshop, again, not my favorite thing to do, but if that's what somebody wants, I can do a freezer meal workshop, and we'll have a wonderful time doing that one. So you're going to entice with theme parties and have a good booking commercial. Now, make sure you mention that your host is going to get a half price item for every single party that's booked from her party tonight. So, and that could be a cooking party, it could be a virtual party. Let me tell you a little bit about what virtual parties are, because a lot of people aren't familiar. If they're attending a cooking party, they're not quite sure what that is. So I say, if you're not able to do a cooking party right now, a virtual party could be the perfect fit. You don't have to leave your house. You can run it right from your smartphone on your couch. And about 5 minutes a day it takes to check in with your friends and family on Facebook. I do most of the posting, and we share recipes and product information. I share videos, we play games, I give prizes, and orders ship directly to each guest, so you don't have to collect money and you don't have to deliver orders. You get the same host rewards. So what a great way, if you're on Facebook anyway, why not get a free shopping spree? And your host gets credit for the booking when you book a virtual party. So make sure you suggest the different kinds of parties and remind them the host gets credit for every party that's booked from her. And then you're going to end that with a door prize, and you're going to pass out the door prize slips and explain what's on the door prize slips as you're passing them out. And then you're still, regardless of what the door prize slips say, you're still going to ask every single guest at checkout, which kind of party was she most interested in? Was she interested in a cooking party, or maybe one of the theme parties that you mentioned? Or was she interested in the virtual party? And we also do fundraisers and bridal shows. So just give lots of options about that. Okay, let's talk about virtual parties for a minute, because this is just a little bit different now. If you haven't done virtual parties yet, I'm going to encourage you to become a student of virtual parties. Our company is seeing tremendous growth right now in the virtual party world. And it just adds another way you can do business, and such a fun, flexible way. Because if you're someone that has young kids at home, maybe you can't go out 3 nights a week. Maybe you're semi-retired and you like to take vacations in Florida, or go camping all summer long, or be out on the boat. You can still run your business wherever you are and wherever you're doing. And there's a great demand for virtual parties, and people are much quicker to say yes to a virtual party than they are to a cooking party. So it can really add a huge amount of sales to your business. And you can also run 2, 3, 4, and some people are even running 8 to 10 virtual parties at a time. And it's not a lot more work to run 8 to 10 than it is to run 1. So you're really being smart with your time when you're mastering virtual parties. Now, it is super important to do virtual parties right. And there is a little bit of a learning curve. The good news is your directors have outlines that you can follow exactly step by step on how to run your virtual parties. You can copy and paste the message to the host. You can copy and paste every single instruction for her. So it's not just a matter of what's on your template, because in reality, your template is not as important as the host coaching you're doing. Your template, regardless of what products you're focused on, people are going to order if they're in the party, and if your host is tagging them, inviting them, sending them messages, and these are the things that you're going to be telling her to do. So if you're going to use an automatic posting site, which a lot of people who are running multiple parties at a time use either Post My Party or ScentShare, you're going to have to run your parties in groups. So when you set up your group, most of us do a 2-day pre-party and about a 4 to 5 day party. So if you're doing that, you want to get it set up about 3 to 4 days in advance so that you can start coaching your host and giving her the instructions that she needs on how to invite people. The days of adding people to a group are gone. She needs to invite people. But we have the script. It's a matter of sending your host a message and saying, here's what you need to do. Copy and paste this message to all your friends one by one, and include the link and invite them to click the link, and they add themselves to the party. It is also important to tell her that she needs to do this slowly, because if she does too many too fast, Facebook will freeze her account. So you want to do maybe 20 of them, go away, do some other activities, come back in a couple hours, invite 20 more. And that's why it's important to have several days before the party starts for her to do this. There are messages that you're going to send pre-party to your hosts one-on-one, and then once the party starts, a lot of us add hosts to a group message that you're only posting once a day, and you're telling her things that she should be doing and things that she should be posting. So I tell my hosts, you can put anything on there that you want. If you have a favorite product and you want to take a picture of it, maybe you want to go live, you want to make dinner and film yourself, you can do anything you want in your party, or you can just take my recommended posts, copy and paste it into the party. It's also really important that you're connecting with guests, and there's many different ways to connect with your guests. So when someone, I recommend that one of your early posts be to let them know that you're going to send them a friend request, because you want them to be able to remember you and that you want to be their consultant in the future. And then when they're interacting in the party, send a friend request. And that gives, now you've established that relationship. So you have another chance to interact throughout the party. At least one of your posts should be a question or some kind of game, and tell them, message me or Facebook message me or text me your answer. And now you've connected a second time with that person. If they place an order, you're going to send them a thank you message. Now you've connected a third time with that person. If they haven't placed an order, you might send them a message telling them the party's going to be closing in a few days, and was there anything they were interested in? So that's, again, a third way to connect with that person. Because at the end of every party, you want to invite each of them to host their own party and get a free shopping spree. And it's much better if you've already made a connection with that person. So we have scripts that you can copy and paste into your party, to your host, and to all your guests, and it's in a host coaching document. So ask your director to share this with you. And there's also many opportunities in the host coaching for you to invite your host to become a consultant. And again, in this host coaching outline, there are about 5 opportunities, and you're not asking the same question. You're not saying, do you want to become a consultant? It's 5 different ways that you can message her. So the first way might be, before you even set up the party, to ask, did you know you can also earn commission on this party? In addition to all your host rewards, you can get paid as well. Is that something that you might be interested in? Or is that something you might want to talk more about? And then when the sales hit $300, you can say, yay, you've just earned enough in host rewards to apply this toward the cost of the kit. Did you know you can reduce the cost of the starter kit? Have you given that any more thought? And then if she has bookings or a lot of interaction, you can send a message and say, your friends are really into this. I can tell they love Pampered Chef. This would be a great asset to you getting started in the business. Have you thought about this some more? So again, different opportunities throughout the party. There's also posts where one day you're going to have your host post about booking. Another day you're going to have your host post about asking me a question about my business. And when the host is doing the post, your guests are much more likely to see them and participate. So again, I encourage you to adapt virtual parties and to learn them and to master this skill. There are people who've been in the business for a long time who are just now transitioning over, and they're having huge success. The newer consultants, if you're a new consultant, you're probably getting started right away from virtual parties. So let us know if this is something we can help you, and make sure you're using this format. And let me just talk about the call to action from this call, because we do have a couple activities for you. So we want to remind you again to keep tracking your contacts. And remember, your contacts, some of them are interested, but not right now. So it's really important to know when they're going to be interested. There's some documents that we've provided to help you track contacts, and you want to print and save the virtual document and all the daily steps, and figure out what power tools you're going to be using on your virtual parties and on your cooking parties. And the final action step is to listen to training by Julie Ritter and write down or post in our Facebook group 3 takeaways that you learned from Julie Ritter's post. So thanks for joining me tonight, and I wish you all tremendous success. Bye now.